April 25th, 1829, establishment of Swan River Colony. On April 25, 1829, Charles Fremantle arrived aboard HMS Challenger off the coast of modern-day Western Australia, marking a significant movement in colonial history. Fremantle's arrival preceded the declaration of the Swan River Colony for the British Empire. As an officer of the Royal Navy, Fremantle played a key role in the early exploration and expansion efforts of the British Empire. His landing on April 25th laid the foundation for the formal establishment of the Swan River Colony, which would later evolve into the city of Perth. The declaration of the Swan River Colony represented a chapter in the larger narrative of British colonial expansion and the exploration of Australia. This event set in motion a series of developments that would shape the region's history, culture, and society. 1846. Thornton Affair sparks the Mexican-American War. On April 25, 1846, the Thornton Affair ignited open conflict over the disputed border of Texas, serving as the catalyst for the onset of the Mexican-American War. Tensions had been escalating between the United States and Mexico regarding the annexation of Texas, and the Thornton Affair became a flashpoint that led to full-scale military engagement. The incident involved a clash between a detachment of American troops commanded by Captain Seth Thornton and Mexican forces near the Rio Grande. The skirmish resulted in casualties on both sides and further intensified the existing animosities. Subsequently, the United States, under President James K. Polk, used the Thornton Affair as justification to declare war on Mexico, marking the official commencement of the Mexican-American War. 1859. Birth of the 8-hour day movement in Australia. On April 25, 1856, a historic moment unfolded in Australia as stonemasons and building workers, driven by the burgeoning labour movement, marched from the University of Melbourne to Parliament House. Their objective was to advocate for the establishment of an 8-hour workday, a pivotal milestone in the development of workers' rights. Amid concerns about working conditions and the labor-intensive nature of construction, the march symbolized the collective demand for fair and humane working hours. The movement aimed to reduce the standard workday from the prevalent 12 hours to a more reasonable 8 hours, allowing laborers time for rest, recreation, and a better work-life balance. 1859. The inauguration of the Suez Canal construction. On April 25, 1859, a historic moment unfolded at Port Said as the first shovel struck the ground, marking the commencement of the construction of the Suez Canal. The ambitious project was conceived based off the plans of Alois Negrelli, von Moldbel, and led by Ferdinand de Lesseps. The Suez Canal, connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea, aimed to create a vital maritime shortcut that would significantly reduce travel time for ships and enhance global trade routes. The initiation of construction on this date represented a crucial step in realizing this engineering marvel. Ferdinand de Lesseps, a French diplomat and developer, played a key role in the project's realization. The Suez Canal, completed in 1869, became a strategic waterway facilitating international maritime commerce and transforming the dynamics of global trade. April 25, 1859 stands as the symbolic beginning of the groundbreaking endeavor that would reshape maritime navigation, promote economic interconnectedness, and leave an enduring mark on the history of infrastructure and engineering. The Suez Canal's completion would later be celebrated as a testament to human ingenuity and the advancement of transportation in the 19th century. 1862. The capture of New Orleans, a turning point in the Civil War. On April 25, 1862, during the American Civil War, forces under U.S. Admiral David Farragut demanded the surrender of the Confederate city of New Orleans, Louisiana. The city's mayor, John Monroe, refused to surrender, and Farragut's fleet proceeded to bombard the city. The bombardment lasted for 2 days, and it caused widespread damage. On April 27th, Confederate General Mansfield Lavelle ordered the evacuation of the city. Farragut's fleet then entered the city, and New Orleans was under Union control. The capture of New Orleans was a major victory for the Union. It opened up the Mississippi River to Union shipping, and it cut off a major source of supplies for the Confederacy. The capture also dealt a significant blow to Confederate morale. 1864, the Battle of Marks Mills, a decisive Confederate victory. On April 25, 1864, during the American Civil War, a force of 8,000 Confederate soldiers under the command of Major General James F. Fagan attacked a Union wagon train carrying supplies for General Frederick Steele's Army of Arkansas at the Battle of Marks Mills in Cleveland County, Arkansas. The Confederates, outnumbered but well-positioned, caught the Union soldiers off guard and inflicted heavy casualties. The Union forces, consisting of approximately 1,800 soldiers and a large number of wagon teamsters, were routed with over 1,500 men killed or wounded. The Battle of Marks Mills marked a significant turning point in the Red River Campaign, a Union offensive aimed at capturing Shreveport, Louisiana. The defeat at Marks Mills crippled Steele's supply lines and forced him to abandon his campaign, marking a major setback for the Union war effort. 1882. The Tonkin Campaign. On April 25, 1882, French troops under the command of Commandant Henry Riviere seized the citadel of Hanoi, the capital of Tonkin, a region of northern Vietnam. This event marked the beginning of the Tonkin Campaign, a series of conflicts that led to the French colonial conquest of Vietnam. The French had been interested in expanding their influence in Southeast Asia for several decades. In 1873, a French force led by Francis Garnier had briefly captured Hanoi, but they were forced to withdraw after being defeated by Vietnamese troops. In 1881, Riviere was sent to Hanoi with a small force of maritime infantry to investigate French claims to the region. Riviere was determined and ambitious officer, and he quickly decided to take advantage of the political instability in Vietnam to seize Hanoi. On April 25th, Riviere led a surprise attack to the citadel of Hanoi. The Vietnamese defenders were taken by surprise, and they were quickly overwhelmed. Riviere's forces took control of the citadel, and they raised the French flag over Hanoi. The seizure of Hanoi was a major victory for the French, and it gave the French control of a key strategic city, and it paved the way for further French expansion in Vietnam.